welcome back to day 16 of the 30-day building challenge with me, Nisi. We're officially over halfway there and we're enjoying our time in the creative world. This is what we built last episode, or last video, so to say. This is our little moon house, and I'm actually going to stick with the houses in the sky theme because I kind of want to build something on a cloud now. It's going to be a very similar kind of concept because one's a moon and one's a cloud, and it's going to look all magical and mystical and stuff. But the big difference for me here is going to be the way I build it. I want to go sort of taller into the sky and make it look a little bit more medieval, maybe like a castle tower or something. And I also want to use light blue. Light blue is not a color really very much. I mean, we've got light blue wool, we have light blue concrete powder, we've got light blue glazed terracotta. There's really not that many options for the sort of shade I'm looking for here in Minecraft, but I think it'll be fun to try to make it work regardless. So I've started off by building a little cloud. I'm going to need to expand on it and then do a little bit of shading. I'm thinking we can do some with glass panes or something. It's not really something I've done much, but if we're going for a nice looking cloud, this might be step one. Okay, clouds are surprisingly difficult to build. I mean, look at this thing. There's something off about the underside of it. It looks very blocky, and I think it's actually Minecraft's lighting engine. Look at the sort of the harsh shadows here on the wool blocks. Because we're building out white, they really stand out and look horrible. So I think the best thing to do is to actually add a bunch of glass basically everywhere to really remove a lot of these shadows. And it doesn't get rid of them completely, but it does smoothen things out. I also have some frog lights here hidden in the glass. Hopefully that will also help. I don't know if it actually makes a difference or not. But we basically want the entire thing to be surrounded in as much glass as possible. And that does really soften the harsh edges of the blocks. It leads to other funky bits, like the sides of the glass are fairly obvious and look a little bit odd. But you know, other than that, this is getting somewhere. I can definitely work on this a little bit later and figure out exactly what needs to be done. I am getting the same sort of issue here at the top, but hopefully we can cover that up. I'm thinking honestly maybe snow carpets kind of help. Not really, you still get like a really dark shadow there, but we'll see. Anyways, let's move on to actually building the tower. This is the bit that I'm more excited about. I don't need these glass panes, they did not work. I think full glass blocks are definitely a way to go here instead. But yeah, let's build the towers. So because the cloud is white, I don't know if I should keep going with white. I don't think I should actually. I thought about using quartz or pale oak, but because we have, let's grab pale oak and let's grab some quartz. Because we have our entire base of the cloud in white, we're just gonna get a massive clash in the tiny little differences in shade between these colors. Yeah, it just makes the cloud look even darker, which we don't want. So I think we're gonna try for something different. I don't know what yet, how to make the tower, but I'm gonna play around with different colors and see what we can use. I think we're gonna go for ice. This is definitely a luxury from being in creative. I mean, getting this sort of amount of ice you would need for a build in survival would be a little bit tricky, although doable, and obviously not very fun to build on because it's you know, it's a little bit hard to work with ice. But I'm gonna let myself go for the color instead of the material, and I think blue is gonna work. I was originally planning on using this for roofs, but we can use something else for roofs and do like a nice little blue tower instead. Honestly, how badly do we need this sort of color to come in like a brick or a wood variant? I would love that so much. I think we might be getting somewhere with this. I really like the blue tower, and I like the orange inside for the lights. That's sort of like fake windows almost. I've been trying to experiment with fake windows recently because I saw so many cool implementations of them on Arcadia. And you know what? I think this kind of works with the blue panes kind of in front of them to kind of dim it very slightly so it's not extremely bright. I think that looks really good. I still need to refine obviously everything that's going on here, and I kind of want to add some like dangly bits like candles and and chains, and that's definitely not because I just watched B-Dubs' video. But I do think it's a very cool idea. Actually, I think I want to add some orange into the build, orange or pink or purple, and kind of have it more reminiscent of the different colors that clouds can be, especially during sunsets. So I wonder what kind of color the roof here is going to be. Wait guys, I'm kind of cooking with this. Take a look. Look at that roof. Okay, honestly that kind of works, doesn't it? Like I couldn't get the oranges of the sunset in unfortunately, but I've got the like the pinks and the purples, and I think Something about this makes me really happy. I think it's the way that the roof shape kind of reminds me of a flower with like a stem or something. It's so cute, but the build does feel a little bit boring just like this. So what I'm gonna do actually is I think we're gonna play off the fact we have clouds as sort of our base, which means we can go a little bit funny with the layout. I think I want to actually maybe add another cloud like somewhere out here and build a second smaller structure we can connect with like a bridge or something to make this a little bit more visually interesting. Yeah, I think that will work. There we go. I've built a second one of these. This one's a little bit shorter, but overall, I'm quite proud of this idea, especially the way they interconnect on different heights. I think this would be really cool at one point to do as a base idea. If you build a base in the sky, which is a massive amount of effort, by the way, you have to literally build everything that your buildings go on top, and then you have to fly about everywhere. But still, such a cool concept. I'd love to take this further one day. I don't know where I could use a build like this, but honestly, I'm kinda in love, especially with the color palette here. The light blues, which unfortunately only come in the forms of ice right now in the game. Plus these pinks, honestly, they blend together so well. And I was a little bit worried we might have too much white in the build because of the clouds, but I think the pale oak trim sort of works fine here. It's not too much. If anything, maybe this is too much. I think actually we don't need this here. Let me just block this off. I think it looks a little bit better if you have a higher gap between the clouds and the sort of window slabs. So yeah, I do prefer that. Yeah, really interesting concept. I think if you were to make this into a base, you would probably need to come up with a design for an actual usable building and not just a tower, but it shouldn't be too hard to make something similar to this into a building. Right now, these are extremely non-functional. We went for pure aesthetics here rather than any sort of function. But yeah, interesting base concept. Let me know what you guys think. Is it cool? I hope it's cool. I hope you guys like it. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.